Okay, everybody, we're gonna try a new intro because Gabby wanted to do something different for this season.
I didn't want to. It was just an idea.
Well, we're gonna see if this idea is gonna work out for us. Well, for her idea, we were just gonna start talking about the topic and then do the intro after. Does that make sense
not
to you?
Not even about the topic. Just off the cuff.
Off the cuff.
Because this is what we're pretending we have. Is like somebody sitting over there who's like doing this whole thing for us. We just come
that's not the case.
It's not the case
for our podcast.
We have a producer.
Yeah, called me, who barely.
Yeah, but right now you're not a producer.
Right now I'm the talent, just like you're the talent, even though she's half asleep.
I
think a healthy conversation that me and Gabby need to have is how we're starting these. Well, been started this new year, even though January always feels like it's lasting forever. So
I always feel like this
episode
feeling? Is going to go like an episode's going to go one way, and then you say something that makes me think it's going to go a completely different way.
We know what we're going to talk about.
I know what I'm going to talk about.
What are you going to talk about? How do you feel about this new year?
I feel like it's cold.
Before
outside.
I start with the downer, it's cold outside. It is frigid. I don't know where y'all are listening from.
It's 19 degrees outside. Can I throw that out there?
Yes, it's 19 degrees, and with wind chill, below that.
It's like below that. It's like pretty much Antarctica, really.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but
Penguins
honestly, it's pretty frigid.
Yep. Well, anyway.
But it's really cold. The new year started off like any new year, and then we had an extra week off because of a random snowstorm that literally destroyed all the trees in our area. It looks really ugly. Although they did clean up yesterday, or was it, I don't know, this week they cleaned up the tree that literally almost destroyed my house.
So in your neighborhood, it's clean. Most roads, they just like push them to the side.
Yeah, they don't care.
And they don't.
And I'm like, okay, so y'all are gonna wait until spring.
There's
to clean
a
up
tree
this stuff?
down from last year. I think when we had like a thunderstorm or something. So you know when you're turning from Gideon onto Dale Boulevard, you turn left, and right there where like people merge to get on the highway, there's like a huge tree that they just pushed onto the side. It's been there for like almost a year.
I guess Woodbridge doesn't care, and I understand. It's like not that anybody listening knows Woodbridge, but Cheshire Plaza, every tree is broken there, and they're completely in the way. They're like barely moved. You can barely get around them, and no one
Everyone's
cares.
like, well, see, this is my thing. I'm like, yeah, dude, if it fell like in the woods or something, it'll just, go back into the earth. But it's on the pavement, dog. It's not gonna do anything.
Maybe we should kind of do something about that, but I'm not in charge, so.
Whatever. They barely cleared the roads. They're not gonna pick up trees, dude.
Well, because I think also people thought we were gonna get more snow, and we haven't yet. Maybe we'll get something. Gabby was really happy. You were happy about that? That went in your favor.
Yeah.
It worked in your favor.
It did. I was very, very happy that it did not snow.
So you're cold. Yeah. What else is different for you this new year?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's different for you, Gabby? When we formed the podcast, because we're both gonna have to speak to this. So, about a new reality shift that Gabby has caused in a few people's lives.
I like how this is like the butterfly effect. Like, I make one decision,
but you affect other people with that decision.
Well, I know that I do. I don't. No man is an island. Isn't that what that quote means? No man is an island.
From what's the one that I keep confusing? Ernest Hemingway, but it was actually
no. It's not something an author says. It's just like a saying people say. No, I don't know where it's from. No man is an island. I don't know if that's what it actually means. Let me stop saying it. Watch it have like a completely different meaning. I sound like such an idiot right now. But I quit my job. Is that what you're talking about? Is that the one?
I think
is that what you mean?
I think we just needed to like talk about it.
Oh, well, okay.
If we're talking about New Year's, a big part of how this year's going to go for you is that decision you made.
Yeah, it was a good
which I fully support, by the way. As much as I might look like I'm dead inside, I do support my dear friend. My sis. I support you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
It can seem like I don't.
No, I know you do. Yeah. You just, you support me in ways that are different than some other people.
What are you even trying to say right now?
No, just like...
Are you saying that I'm like a bad person?
No, okay. No, I know you do.
That it can seem like to other people I'm not supporting you, but
no,
but
not even
deep
that.
Inside I am.
No, I know you are.
It's just like... other people involved?
No.
Okay,
it's just like...
Up.
I don't think I'm not even picking up what I'm putting. I'm still half asleep. But it's the cold air. Drains me. No, it's like, some people are like, oh, that's really great. Like, oh, good luck with that. Or like, I'm happy for you. That's really nice. And you're like, okay, well, when I'm at work.
Is that my energy? Is that my energy right now?
It's just like.
It's toxic.
No, it's not toxic. Because it makes me like laugh because I know that you do support me.
I really do.
You're just like, okay, well, like, now that you're not there, it's like, but I'm happy for you. But blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. Like
I'm not gonna be fake about it. No, it's like even in how horrible my life is now, I still support
saying
you.
That.
I'm kidding.
That's what I mean. Like
that you
right preface there. Everything with like a prepositional phrase of
like
even though
sucks,
or
and you
despite
ruined this for us, but still I support you.
And you know what? That's totally cool because I ruin most things. So like I expect that, but yeah, that's good.
So, but how do you? Like I said, people just got a glimpse as to what I'm going to talk about.
I'm screaming.
But honestly, though, you said when I asked you, well, because we had a little bit of a celebration, and I paid for her little freedom drink. I said, congrats on getting out.
I haven't accepted that PayPal thing. That's right. I have to do that.
You got to do that. Yeah, okay. And we talked a little bit about how our lives are going to be looking like. And that you feel like since you have made a slight return back for a few days that you have been reminded.
I'm covering for Tim.
That you've been reminded that you've made the right decision.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Which is good. Maybe, I mean, although it kind of sucks to be like, okay, I'm not fully done with this place, to be like, you know what? But after having a week of like completely being on my own and then just seeing a tiny glimpse that you're like, yeah, I feel assured of my decision.
Yeah, that's a good place to be at. Definitely the right decision. Yeah. Well, because it's one of those things like, you know, sometimes
you would hate it to be like back and be like, oh my gosh.
Oh man, I wish I hadn't. Right. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like that, but not overarchingly. Overarchingly, I know I made the right decision. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I have like little moments, like on Sunday morning. Sunday mornings suck, but like being with you and Tim wasn't there. But even if Tim was there, like just like being like, oh, like it's fun, just like goofing around and like being back in the sound booth. I miss that. But overarchingly, the job of working there, no, I don't miss that. I miss it's always, every time I've quit a job, it's always been like, yeah, the people that I miss and not the company. That sounds bad, but it doesn't really sound bad.
Like whatever
the actual job is,
the actual position. It's more like, I don't necessarily enjoy this work because I wanted to do something else in my career, but of course you're going to miss the people.
Yeah. And even like, I mean, like even in my job at CNU when I worked in the English office, obviously I enjoyed that because it's the English office and I was surrounded by my English professors. And I didn't quit that job. I graduated, so I left. But like I loved that job because I loved seeing my professors every day. All I did was like sit at the computer and like email students about their problems and what classes they should be taking and like how to contact whatever professor, but like and like make copies for professors. But like every once in a while, or not every once in a while, a lot of times my professors would come in and they'd sit and talk to me on their lunch break or they'd talk to me about whatever. And I just got like one-on-one time with my professors who I like really, really loved and I like miss so much. So it's always like the people. It's really never the work. But yeah, at the end of the day, I definitely made the right decision. And it was just like, you know, but yeah, I feel good about that. I feel like I ain't gonna drag nobody because it's just not worth it to like get on here and drag anybody. It's not worth my time.
That's not what this is
worth
about.
My energy. It's not even about that because it's not even worth my time doing that. And I'm not. Oh, I can be petty, but I'm not that petty.
You really aren't.
But so I just it's like kind of like, all right, peace out. That was a nice chapter. Thanks for that. Bye. I have other things to do now. You've taken enough of my time.
You feel good. Like now you can start focusing on what you really wanted to do even before this. Yeah. It was longer than I think everybody was expecting.
Yeah. So. I didn't expect, I mean, I say this all the time. I didn't expect to be there for 3 years, but I really didn't. And I was
looking for jobs. Like I remember when you first got the job and you were
like, dude, what's wild is that like, I had been there for like 4 months and I put Tim's name down as a reference because I was like, dude, a job's probably going to call you this week that I put your name down as a reference.
So that I can like quit.
So I can like quit and get another job. And Tim was like, okay. And the person did call him and he was like, I'll give you like a glowing recommendation, whatever. And I was like, cool, thanks. I'd known him for like 4 months, dude.
He's just that type of guy.
And he was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'll do that. And I was like, cool. And yeah, so that was fun. But and then I didn't get the job, obviously, because I wouldn't have been still there if I did. But yeah, so it's just one of those things that I'm like, you know what, this is really good. I feel good about this,
which is good.
Yeah,
that's a good place to be at.
Yeah,
new year, fresh start.
Makes my life a little bit harder in a different way, just because like I don't have a consistent paycheck. But that's cool.
And we'll probably talk about that in a different episode, just about how to figure out adulting things. Because we got a lot of things happening, a lot of changes.
Adult,
but we're adults. Unfortunately, we have responsibilities, bills to pay. Yeah. But like I said, I genuinely am very happy for her.
Thanks. You sound it.
You
sound
deep
so
inside. I'm very, very happy.
I know you are.
Because I know this is like where she's gonna be happy and she's gonna do so much bigger things than like over here with our little team.
Screaming.
But this was supposed to be a conversation on like New Year's resolutions, and I typically am super into them. I'm like my boss, because I remembered last year when we met with him about smart goals and meeting, and I'm like, yeah, that's not happening this year. And I don't know. I usually am the most stressed around the holidays. And in addition to being stressed, I was very like unmotivated, which sounds so bad. Like this year, it really got to me, and I always feel like I can't appreciate the season because I'm like so busy. And then Christmas Eve like happens, and I go home, and I'm like, wait, what happened? And then it's like ruined for me. So this year in particular, it happened a little bit, but that's okay. I still enjoyed it with my family, and I just felt like I was dead inside for the whole weird week. And it happens to everybody, like in between Christmas and New Year's, because it was just. I don't know, it was weird. Like I purposely took time off teaching and everything, but I just get like in a weird funk if I don't have anything to do, which sounds so weird. I'm like, I needed a break.
You need a hobby.
I need a hobby. But it was just like, I don't know, it was so weird. And then you had the extra week off because of the snow. Yeah. And everybody, I feel like, was just confused.
Well, yeah,
for a hot second about what was happening.
Yeah,
I feel a little bit poorly. I feel a little bit stressed, but it's okay. Like you're gonna have stress. You're gonna feel sad about things. You're gonna feel happy, excited about things, and all this to say, like we have a lot of cool things to look forward to in the next few months. Like this year is gonna be a good year for me. Like I know that. It's more about looking at the day to day, and there's always gonna be certain aspects of your life that are gonna stress you out, and change is really hard, but change is good. And that sounds super cliche, but I've needed to tell myself that the past few weeks, and yeah. I might sound a little bit depressed right now, but I'm not. It's kind of just getting through that mindset, and well, for like our team, it's just different. It's gonna be harder in a few ways, and that's all right. Like just coming to terms with that.
Yep. It made their lives harder, so that's cool. Feel good about that decision. Well, that's the one part that I struggled with because I knew it was going to make your lives harder. Mm-hmm. So that was hard for me to like come to grips with that because I was like,
but that's true. And we both told you, like I said, even though right now it might seem like we're like, yeah, even though we told you that, we totally didn't mean it. We did mean it. No, and we still do mean it because we were like, don't let that bear anything in your decision. Because trust me, for individually, I'm like, if we know we needed to do something for the good of like ourselves or our families or whatever it was, that's, that comes first. So
yeah, but it was definitely a decision I didn't make lightly. I thought about it a lot, but I knew I was gonna like screw you guys over. Like I was fully aware of that. But I also think it's one of those things that is it's bad, but at the same time it's almost like for the greater good, because then people will see like, oh, you know what? Like their team is really struggling. Maybe
I think everybody's really struggling.
Should have made a better decision in regards to certain things. Being very veiled here,
vague.
But I'm just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, sometimes,
but like I said, at the end of the day, we all knew that. For 3 years, we knew that. Let's be honest.
I mean, I didn't really do anything for like the first 5 months I was there.
But eventually, even Tim knows that.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but it just gets me thinking. And like I don't know where I saw it. Maybe on Twitter, even though I'm not on Twitter.
It's probably Twitter.
Like something about Blue Monday, which I'd never heard of before. It's like some Monday in January where most people are like down or depressed or whatever.
It's like every day of my life in January.
Okay.
I hate January, sorry.
I know, January. I don't know. Usually I am one of those people like my boss who's like, what are my goals? What are my New Year's resolutions? And I have to be honest, I didn't make anything. And he was the one who asked me in like a little video we made. And he's like, so what New Year's resolutions have you made? And I just came up with a joke because I really didn't have any. And I think that's okay because I think right now I'm like just focusing on the projects and how to get through the day to day. and look forward to exciting things like a little concert we might go to.
Yeah, well, I'm going to it. I don't know what you're doing.
No need to drag, but I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna show up.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's so when I saw that, I was like, Blue Monday, I'm like, man, I would have never understood that like 4 or 5 years ago, because I'm definitely one of those people who are like type A personality, whatever, like go-getter. And I'm like, I'll come up with some goals and write them down, and I'll go super into it last year. And like I said, it's very good and healthy, but I think it's also good and healthy to be like, let me just figure out how I'm doing the day-to-day. I don't need to have this huge list of goals for me to accomplish. Like, my goal can be like to get through my life successfully.
Yeah, I just was never one of those people who did.
I know you did. Then you mentioned that, and I was like, oh, okay.
No, I don't know. Even when I was like, I mean, yeah, the start of a new year, it's really nice to have like a fresh start, I guess. I don't know. But I was never the one to like do New Year's resolutions, just because I'm like, if I really wanted to do that thing, I would have already done it by now. I don't know. Like, I just am not. And even in my family, like we just never did New Year's resolutions. I don't know. And we never really like been like, hey guys, what's your resolution for this year? Like I don't know. We just never did that. I don't know. But I just feel like, yeah, it's good to have goals for the year. I'm not saying I don't have goals for the year, but at the same time, I'm like, if I really wanted to do that thing, what's going to make it? Why do I feel more obligated to do it January 1st and not December 31st? Like, if I wanted to do it, I would have done it by now. But that's just my personality. Like, the things I want to do, I do. And the things I don't want to do,
you don't do.
I don't do them. Clearly, because I just quit my job. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I just like, yeah, dude, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to quit. Like, which might seem like a quitter attitude. Whatever, dude. Call me whatever. But, like, I just...
It's okay. Personalities balance each other out. Like, it's not that, again, you can make those types of decisions, and I think that speaks a lot of yourself, your personality, but also speaks a lot as to like what people should be doing, because it's not that you're being irresponsible, but you're really at the point where you're like, I can figure this out, and maybe it's better for my
I didn't just quit my job with no other job. I have freelance and stuff like that.
Like,
that
just
I can...
to add that in there in case anybody's like,
oh yeah, no, I didn't just like quit my job and like sign up for Social Security. I have other jobs that I do for freelance. So I weighed the options and was like, well, I could do, because I do both freelance and my full-time, part-time work with Millie, but I was like, yeah, but if I can make it with just freelance, and I'm in the position to quit the day job, right? Then I'll do that.
Just try it out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try that,
and it's okay with you knowing like, hey, it might suck, it might not be good. You might look for another job, whatever it is, and like, I think that's okay. I feel like this podcast has been such a journey of like where we're at in our lives.
It'd be interesting to like listen back to like one of our episodes that we talked about like this year, what we did or something, and probably be like, wow, we suck.
We really sucked. Like, I feel like I've changed so much as a person in the past.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good.
3 years, which is good.
But here's the thing too. Like, this is what's really stupid to me. I'm going to try to make this not a tangent. This is what's really dumb. Okay, we just went through like a pandemic, right? All right. Still kind of going through a pandemic.
You're the one who hates talking about it.
No. I'm really like not even about the pandemic, about just people in different like, it's just like, we've been talking about this for 3 years. My conversation right now that I'm bringing up is not about the pandemic itself. I just have to obviously preface, like, we just went through a pandemic.
Right.
That puts things into perspective about your life. So what I think is really stupid is that we went through all of this. You would think people would be a little bit more, and this isn't a dig on anyone specific at all, but I say this to myself too every day. I'm like, man, okay. But like, you would think that like people would be a little bit more cognizant of like what really matters. So like, it's really stupid to me that like, and I know everyone, you need a job to work or whatever. I understand that. But it really pisses me off when people say to me like, well, you know, just like, you might not like your job. And I hated this before the pandemic, let alone after the pandemic.
Right.
You might not like your job, but you know, you just go, you work your 9 to 5 and you go home. And I'm like, are you kidding? So you want me to work 40 hours out of my week, 5 days out of 7 days, just work it and go home. That's the majority of my week. That's over half of my week. And you want me to just spend over half of every single week at a job I hate? I don't understand. Like, if I have the option to go to a different job or leave the job, that's what I'm going to do. Like, I just think it's really stupid. I'm like, after the pandemic, you would think, or, you know, we're still kind of in the middle of it, but at the tail end, hopefully, that like, you would think like, okay, we just went through all this. Let me get my priorities straight. Like, let me actually, because like we really learned that like our time is valuable and precious, and we understood that now more than ever, I think. For people to still say that, I'm like, are you stupid? Like, are you really, like, your life, you could die tomorrow from, I mean, we knew that before, but I just, once again, after this whole debacle, I feel like it's just more clear and more like in your face than ever. That like, because you see it all the time on news, social media, whatever, from people that you are around, that I'm like, you're really gonna, like, I don't know. I'm just like, you have one life and you're gonna be at a job you hate for 5 days a week for 40 hours or more if you work overtime, and be fine with that. And you're going to tell me to be fine with that. Like, screw that, dude. I'm not doing that.
Right.
Like, and one of the things that's become a pet peeve for me, I think it was pet peeve before, but once again, just becoming more a pet peeve. This is a tangent. I'm so sorry. No, but is that when people like assign meaning to things that have no value, I'm like, it's just stupid. Where like, and I think that's one thing that pissed me off at work was that like, we would harp on things that at the end of the day, I'd be like, we're assigning like 50% of caring right now to this thing when I would assign 4%. Right. But we're harping on it and harping on it and harping on it. And that really pisses me off. And I understand certain things you have to talk about and things, it's just red tape, or there's just things you have to talk about or things you have to do, you have to get through every day, every week. Like certain things that are really stupid, you just have to talk about. But certain things you didn't have to talk about to that extent, and we did. And I was like, this is really stupid. Like, this is really dumb. We could be doing so many other better things right now. Yeah. And we're giving this one thing so much value and meaning it and putting it on like a pedestal. For what? Why are we talking? Like, it just frustrates me so much. So, like, I don't know. That was one thing. That wasn't everything, but that was one thing. Yeah. But I know you get that with every job. But, like, so I was just like, really, after, like, this whole thing we just went through, and you're still going to be, like, putting so much value on something when you have, like, a whole life to live. You're going to put value on this one stupid thing. And then, like, have your whole day or week consumed by it. And we're going to argue about it and talk in circles about it. I don't know. It's just, like, I don't even know if it makes sense. This just, like, stuff that I think about. That I'm like, that's really dumb.
No, honestly, like that is a point to bring up. And then I thought we had talked about it in the last season, but we met with Jax after our last episode, right? Yeah. So and I was gonna say, okay, so good. We hadn't talked about it because that what you just said is something that literally. Sometimes your friends say things and you're like, you don't remember anything, which is typically me.
Same. Millie talks all day and I don't know what you're saying.
But when we met with Jackson, we were just having the roasting session. Not like, LOL. Just like her checking up on us and being like, what are y'all doing with your lives? Yeah, we had mentioned like, yeah, you spend 40 hours if not more, let's be honest, overtime and like trying to get a promotion or whatever is very highly valued in our culture. If you're just honest about it, and normalized. Spending 40 hours minimum, if not more, to progress, or for whoever you work for, or even for yourself, is just normalized. And her saying, like, that's like half of my life right there. Why am I going to spend half of my life doing something I don't want?
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's one of those things I'm like, maybe it was the way she said it or just what my mindset was at the moment or the right time. But like, that's just like been like a nail into my brain. It's just stuck there. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's kind of true. Because I don't know, if you don't think about it, it's something you just accept. And sometimes you have to think about the things that you just accept and why you do. Like, is it something that you're genuinely okay with? Which, again, fair game if that you're okay with it. But I think for most people, we just accept it and we don't even think about why we do. And it's true. And it makes you realize, like, what do you care about?
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I think it's dumb that, yeah. It's all, yeah. Like, what do you actually care about? Because I guarantee if you really did some like introspection, even if you're spending 50 hours a week at your job, do you really care though? Or are you just doing it because like, that's what you're supposed to be doing? And like,
and even if you do, and I think there's also a conversation that has happened, like even if in 5 years, it's probably too short of a time span, but let's say in 5 years, we both find jobs that like, we're like, that's our dream job, whether it's me like producing for whoever, or you like writing for other people or for yourself, whatever that looks like. Even then, like work-life balance is a thing. Even if my job is like my dream job, there's so much more to life than what provides for you. And I think even when you have a job that you really, really enjoy, you still have to be mindful that you don't spend your whole life doing that too.
Yeah.
It's only a small section as much as you might enjoy it.
Yeah, like I feel like
affects that balance of life. I think we just don't talk about enough. I think the goal is always like, okay, let's get to a point in our career that we really enjoy, and that's it. Yeah. There's no talk. I'm like, okay, what happens when you retire? Or what happens when, I don't know, you don't have as many projects to work on?
Yeah.
Or you let it consume you to the point where like you're burnt out or whatever that is.
Well, yeah,
we don't have those conversations.
Like yeah, and that's one thing that actually like she wasn't even it was my English professor's friend who lives up here in the DC area. She lives in DC. I met with her. She works for a human rights organization. I don't even remember which one. My professor was like, "Oh, go talk to her," or whatever. And so I don't even remember how we got on the conversation, but we were talking, and she was like, and it was like a few months after I graduated, and she was like, "Yeah, like, you know, don't like get so stressed out about like," and I was at the time like I was like 22. She's like, and she was like, "Don't get so like stressed out about your like career and stuff. Like, you know, you don't want to be one of those people that like gets the career they want right away, works until they like are almost dead, and then like burn out at 30." And I was like, okay, nice talking with you. And at the time I was like, but now looking back, I'm like, yeah, it's true, dude. Like, not that I'm like, don't get a career you love right out of college. That's not the point, but it's just like, just, I don't know, like chill out, take your time. It's not that serious. People put a lot of stock into it and they make it that serious. But I think I'm just learning now that I'm like, it's really not that serious. Like I have a list in my head of like priorities, and my career is definitely up there. Like definitely, like that's probably not my main, but it's definitely, when I look at my life right now, I'm like, yeah, my career is definitely very important to me, but not so important that I'm going to like burn out and work for a corporation that doesn't care about me. Like, you know, I don't know. Like, and I think once again, after this whole debacle, I think people realize that like, people knew this before, but people realize definitely now that like their workplace doesn't care about them. And so like, even if you're working toward a larger mission, like I would like to be part of a job that works toward a mission that I can see happening, or like works towards something that I see results like immediately and an impact or whatever, which is why I was looking at human rights organizations. But I think even then, like your immediate office might really care for you as a person, but the corporation as a whole really doesn't, because you're replaceable. And
in any workplace.
Yeah, in any workplace. It's not special to one place. It's anywhere. People just need a job done, and if you're going to do it, great. And if someone else is going to do it, great. They don't care about anything else. Your boss might care for you, but the corporation doesn't. And so like I feel like people realize that, and they just, when you realize that, I think it puts everything in perspective. Doesn't mean you can't show up and do your job well, because you can. You just have to have that mindset being like, you know what, I'm replaced. And which like Tim has talked to us about before, but like, which it's true. Like you can enjoy your job and do the thing and blah, blah, blah. But like at the end of the day, don't get burnt out, because this corporation is not going to do anything for you. They are not going to care about you when you get burnt out. So why would I get burnt out for a corporation? You just have to keep in mind like, okay, well, like what am I working toward? I'm not working toward impressing my boss or my boss's boss. I'm working toward this mission that I believe in. Like, and so I just feel like if you do that, then it's like, oh, okay, if I'm not trying to impress anybody and I'm just doing my job, I'm probably not going to get burnt out, because I get burnt out, I can't do the job. Right. So, but that doesn't work well when you have a job that you don't care about at all. Right. So I think that's also, and that was also for me too, when I just kind of like toward the end, it sounds like really ominous, but like toward like fall and into winter, I don't know if it's because I knew my time was coming to a close at work or what it was, but I just got into a very like you could, sometimes it was like this, not all the time, because I do get pissed off easily, but irritated. I get irritated sometimes more easily than other people. But there were times where like I would have a certain week where like you could tell me anything. You could be like, the sky's gonna fall and everyone's blaming you, and I'd be like, okay,
that sounds just about right.
I didn't care, and that also scared me. And I was like, I've never been this apathetic before. Like I just, and not that maybe other people saw it, but like I'd go home at the end of the day and be like, yeah, I don't care. Like I don't care.
Yeah, it's a scary place to be.
And so I didn't like that either. And I was like, yeah, I need to leave. Like it wasn't one of those things where I became like angry or bitter. I never reached that. I just became like,
which is good too.
Just, it's like that Pink Floyd song, Comfortably Numb, where you're just kind of like,
yeah, I mean, okay. I think it just be like knowing that, like, okay, I can be at peace about how this is about to end.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a peaceful thing. It was just an apathetic, like, dude, this place could like be burning around me, and I would walk out and not think to tell anybody else.
Like the meme.
Like, yeah, let's just be like, yeah, that's on the wall right there.
That one.
This
that
is fine.
Gabby. That's Gabby most of the time. No, I'm kidding.
So it was just also one of those things where I was just like, yeah, I don't. I feel like that's not a good. Yeah. That's not good. Like I need to leave and and not be here because this place is like draining my life force. So it's not really. And
dramatic,
that's why,
yeah, maybe a little extra.
little extra.
I think people listening understand, and that's just like I said. It's just lived experience and being self-aware. I think, although maybe people can see more, I guess I feel, because I think most people think I'm like happy all the time, and now I think now that I'm more self-aware, I let myself feel the feelings. Like I'm like, okay, it's not that it's not okay. Like I'm like, our lives might be a little bit harder for a season, and I know that, and I'm like accepting that and working through it, not being like, yeah, it doesn't matter, bye.
Right.
You know, letting myself feel those emotions and not to continue your tangent, but to
you can continue
to join it. When you think about timeline, and I'm like the very first person to struggle so badly with this because I always wanted to rush ahead. And I've said this so many times, like get done early. Like I graduated high school a year early. I wanted to finish my college as soon as possible. I wanted to get a job as soon as possible. I wanted to be XYZ by this point. By 22, I wanted to be here. And I'm like, I'm nowhere near any of that. And that doesn't speak to like me not reaching goals or, you know, not being as good of a person or as good as a worker. It doesn't speak to any of that. It just speaks to like real life and being okay with that. I think for our age group, we're told all the time you have to reach a certain point by a certain age. And that can be so like, I don't know, toxic. And I realize that more with time because if I held myself to the same standards I held myself 4 years ago, even just a year ago, I would be like not well. Inside.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
I wouldn't be well inside. And I think you just need to put the work in to have that honest conversation with yourself and be like, these things might not be happening the way you thought they would. Pandemic aside or not. But especially like you said, you have to care and realize like the pandemic has ruined a lot of people's lives and a lot of people's trajectories. And like just come back to reality and realize that, because if not, you can put yourself through a lot of mental gymnastics and in a not really good place. I think we've all reached that point. Gabby had reached it immediately. Immediately. I remember that week very, very vividly.
I just felt just I don't know. Like,
and I was like totally clueless. I was one of those people that I was like, what, pandemic? Huh?
No, I just felt like this overwhelming sense of like.
My life is over.
No, not even that. Just like overwhelmed. I was just overwhelmed. Like I was just like, it was literally like it was the first day of
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Lockdown in Virginia.
She was like gone and from the world.
I woke up just like so overwhelmed and so like, this is going to be really bad. I don't know why I had that feeling. I was just completely like, this is going to be really, really bad. Like, I know. That's why I also felt really stupid because I was like, what is my problem? I was like, why do I feel overwhelmed? This will probably be, well, people expected it to be over in like
3 months.
A few months. Yeah, 3 months or so. And I was just like, this is going to be like, just really, I don't know. I don't know. I just felt, I was like, this is going to be a very like long thing. Anyway, but I would, I
think that's good. And I think everybody's reached that point, even if it wasn't immediately. I think Gabby just knew, okay? Prophetess. Like, I knew, dude. Me, I was completely oblivious. And I think I've reached that point much later in this whole process. But I don't know. I would take more than setting any goals for your new year or stupid stuff like that, obviously. Like, having things
it's healthy, stupid,
it's good. It's good. But I think even more important than that, take time to reflect and just do a little bit of like me, myself, I time. And think about why you'd be thinking. If you should either go see a therapist,
shouldn't we?
If
all?
You can afford one, and I think that's way worth your time, more worth your time than maybe trying to set unrealistic goals for yourself. Like just spend an afternoon, make yourself your chai tea latte or a cup of coffee and sit down with yourself. It doesn't have to be with a journal. I'm not a super journaler, but I've spent more time like in my own brain, not getting lost in it, but being like, okay, I didn't have, for example, the graduation I thought I would have, or whatever timeline I presumed myself to be under is completely like not there anymore. And then that's okay. Like, And if you're gonna be sad about it, like be sad about it. If you're gonna be like disappointed, or just work through that, because then you could be like in 2023 and be like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah.
I don't want to be at that point. And I think the older I get, the more I realize I'm not under anybody's timeline. No. Not even my own.
Yes.
Because I really be putting myself in my own timeline, and that can be not good for me.
Time is an abstract concept anyway. Time doesn't exist.
You've said that so many times.
Time doesn't exist.
Like, what does Gabby say?
It's a man-made construct. Anyway, I mean, yeah, nature does its thing with time, but okay.
What for yourself?
What does 12:30 mean? I don't understand what that means. Especially with daylight savings time. I'm like, okay, so we're just gonna switch when 12:30 is.
That flip's coming around the corner, dude. You can't be depressed anymore.
I'm not depressed. Well, I'm just kidding.
We've been across the shortest days of the year. It'll be there before you know it. Once January is over, February is a short
January
month.
lasts forever. Dude.
It does last forever, and I think we're gonna get past this hump. But I was just, I don't know, that weird in between Christmas, New Year's, and then the extra weird week. It just got to me a little bit, and I was a little bit lost in the sauce, and that's okay. Oh, like for example, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Dude. But this is my low point, and then we can wrap it up with like a funny joke or something.
I don't have any fun. I'm
not funny. Because for example, I did Christmas Eve by myself. Thank you.
I didn't know what you were about to say.
No, because
I was like, what's happening?
I'm like, what got me to the point of being like, man, I kind of feel poorly about my life right now. Even though, again, I have such a good life. But what got me to that point? I did Christmas Eve by myself because our boss was like dead, literally. He called me, and I've never heard somebody more sickly.
I'm screaming.
And Gabby was gone partying in Ohio with her family.
Oh yeah, it was a party.
And I remember calling her because I was like freaking out about if I would be able to make it work.
Yeah, she called me on Christmas Eve, and I was sitting there, and I was like, "I'll be right back." I was like,
so I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have the staff to make this work or whatever." And she was like, "It's okay. I just call X, Y, and Z, and it's okay. Just call me and give me some updates." And I was like honest with her. I think we had said, was it on Tuesday? Goodbye.
Oh, no. When? No, I don't remember.
Which birthday was it?
No, it was Tuesday because I left on. There was nothing on Wednesday because Wednesday they made it a work holiday. Because Thursday I left. Wednesday didn't have any Wednesday night activities or anything.
So it was Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
Yeah, and it was basically
rehearsal.
like her last. Well, no, it was Sunday. But Sunday I was fine. The last Sunday she worked, I was like, okay, I worked through my emotions, but I was not ready on Tuesday. So I was like, okay, bye. Go into my car. And she noticed that I wasn't going to say anything. I was a little bit upset, and I literally cried all the way home, which is like really embarrassing. But like I said, I never would have done that like 4 years ago. But I'm like, it's okay. I'll let myself be sad. And then so embarrassing because on Christmas Eve I called her and I was like, yeah, because I texted her when I got home, and we Netflixed watch party Witcher. Yeah,
is that the same day?
Like hours later, I was like, hey, I don't know if I said I didn't like saying bye or whatever.
No, you didn't tell me until Christmas Eve.
Oh, really?
You didn't say anything. You were just like, or maybe Witcher. I text. Well, yeah, we did watch Witcher because I was like, hey, do you want to watch The Witcher or whatever?
I was like, yeah.
And you were like, okay, and I was like, okay. And then we watched it.
Yeah, no, like by then I got over myself.
Because I was like, because I could tell you were like dealing with your life. So I was like, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to like embarrass her, and I'm just gonna let her get in her car and like because sometimes crying in the car is like really therapeutic.
Really good. It was really, really good.
It's different than crying. And I drove your house.
I hate crying in front of people, and also I know we don't deal well. Well, we say that, and we've dealt with each other crying in front of each other before, and it's been totally fine. I think we just hate individually crying in front of people. The camera doesn't like it either.
The camera said, "I don't want to see that."
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't. It depends on who the person. It depends on who the person is.
It depends on who the person is, and like I have.
If I start crying, I get angrier and I cry more because I'm angry. So I'm the kind of person that like when I'm angry or I like don't know how to like get my words out, I start crying. So it just like frustrates me more. But
like I said, it's healthy to cry. You can cry in front of people. I just in particular hate crying in front of people, and I know I'm not gonna have Gabby deal with my like little problem that I'll be over.
You could have. I probably would have just been like, all right, well, goodbye. No, I wouldn't have said goodbye.
But
would have stood out in the cold parking lot.
But like I said, it was good. I let myself feel my emotions, and then on Sunday I was dead inside, so it was really good. I was ready for it. But on Christmas Eve, I was like, yeah, I was really sad about it. And she was
I didn't even know what was happening. When you called me on Christmas Eve, I was just like, let me just sit here and like let me just listen, because you rattled off like so many different things in so many different directions, and I was like, this is okay.
I was unwell. I was unwell.
And you were like, on Tuesday, and I was like,
on Tuesday?
Yeah, what about like Tuesday? And I didn't know what you're talking about. And you were like, well, Tuesday when we said bye, and I knew we were going. I was like, yeah, and you were like, oh, I cried the whole way home, and I was like, I didn't know that, but I did see you tearing up a little bit there, and you were like, you saw that, and I was like, yeah,
I'm so dead. It's so
you were
embarrassing.
Like, okay, well, anyway, I gotta go, and I was like, okay.
I think it was good to be honest and be like, I'm letting myself be sad, and that's okay. We all handle things differently.
That's good. Because then it's all pent up, and then you let it out,
then
and
you blow up.
Different. Why you point at me when you said that?
Because like people then say like, "Hey, how are you doing?" and you blow up, things like that. I didn't want to let myself get to that point.
You don't have to drag me every single time. You do. I know exactly what you're. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I feel good about my life.
I didn't want it to get to the point that somebody could say hi to me, and I'm like bawling. That's all. So I was just like, let me have my little moment in the car, and I'll be good. You know what I mean?
Did your mom notice when you got out of the car when you got home?
No, because I drove around for half hour.
I'm screaming.
I figured for people to notice.
I've done that before too, and I'm just like, let me just go for a drive really fast.
Well, because
but see, now I live alone, so I can cry and no one even sees me. My neighbors are probably like, is she okay? I'm just kidding. I don't cry that often. Not regularly. Me neither.
But I've let myself have those moments, and so yeah, I got into my community, and then I did like.
Your neighbors are probably like, what the heck is happening?
They probably were like, are you gonna like rob us right now? And I was like, no, I'm just having a moment. Drove around the community like 4 or 5 times, and I was good. I was like, okay, good, got that out of my system. But yeah, so it was just kind of like sadness because of that, and then being like my life's gonna be completely much more harder, and that's okay. It's okay, baby girl. I gotta tell myself that, and now I'm okay with it.
You know what's really funny
I'm
too?
both like dead inside, but what's funny? I want to know some jokes. I want to know some jokes.
It's not funny. It's not really that funny. But the first week I was gone, after you guys went back, after like the snow and all that, the first week I was like officially like not there.
No, January, yeah, we were. That was a rough week for us.
Yeah, it was really funny because like, it's just like
what that you're really happy. You're like
no. Well, yes, but but it's one of those things that like. Every time I would text you or you would text me, you would send back like very short clipped answers. And I was just like, whatever. She's feeling whatever feelings or she's doing her thing. Then on don't interrupt me right now because I got something to say to you right now. Then on Friday, you don't look like that.
Then on Friday, I'm so confused right now.
I was out. What was I doing? I went to the store. And then you texted me. I don't even know what the issue is, but you sent me like 2 paragraphs of text about like this happened this week and this happened this week and this happened this week and this happened this week, and I was just like, you could tell me like you don't have to
I explained this to you already. Why are you telling everybody our business incorrectly?
No, that's not incorrect. So you were like, well, I don't want to tell you about work, and I was like, I don't work there anymore. Was
like, I don't want to, because usually what we text about is like work. So I'm like,
you can text me about work. So then I was like,
I'm like, I'm not gonna bother her about all that because Tim be texting whatever, and I'm like, you don't work here anymore.
I don't care. Just because I don't respond doesn't mean I'm like annoyed.
That first week I was just like, okay, let me try to detach myself. Let me take myself off the drug.
I felt the vibes coming through.
I was not pissed off. Actually.
No, I didn't think you were pissed off.
To be like,
no, I didn't think you were pissed off. It was just the answers you were sending back were very clipped and short. Very much like you didn't want to bother me. You didn't. I just let you be like, okay, that's fine. I was like,
you know what? No, I'm going to bother you.
And then all of a sudden on Friday, you sent like 4 text messages with like 2 paragraphs each. And then now you do that all the time, all day, which is fine. I don't mind that. That's why I was like, I don't know. It was just really cracking me up. The whole week I was like laughing to myself like this. She's okay. I was like,
I wasn't being petty. Like I said, I was trying to be intentionally.
I didn't think you were being.
That's how you be making.
No, I didn't think you were
being. That I was like pissed off at you. So I'm gonna not text you.
That's not what I'm saying. I didn't think you were pissed off.
Okay, good.
I just thought what you were trying to do was just not bother me.
Yeah.
But it was just really funny to me because I was like, you're being obvious about this. And then I didn't say anything because I let you like deal with your life. And then on that Friday, after a whole week of like not telling me anything, you blew my phone up. And I was like, pent up. And then it just.
Okay, but now it evened itself out. So stop complaining.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the first week, it just was an adjustment period.
I'm confused.
It was just an adjusting period. That's all. Just because I don't respond to something doesn't mean like sometimes Tim texts and I don't respond. He drags me about this. But sometimes it has nothing to do with me. I'm like, why would I respond to this? It has nothing to do with me at all. I'll just start responding to everything. Yeah. If it has nothing to do with me, I'll just interrupt.
Really be a big fan. It'll be
really annoying. I'll be an annoying person. Anyway, but you could call me. I'm still around. That's the thing. She was acting like I'm dying. I'm like, I wasn't. I'm just like you. Like
not me. Not me. But I really was kind of like, I want it to be like on Sunday morning. I'm like, I'm not going to text you at 5 a.m. because you're not.
You can. I just won't wake up.
It's just kind of like a different thing.
I'll respond at 8 a.m.
kind of like letting you live your life. And then text you about non-work related things. But
you can do that too. I like. Okay, whatever. You
really be making it seem like I'm like a petty person.
I didn't make it seem like. How is it not pettiness?
The case. I was trying to be considerate.
How is it petty? How is that come off as petty?
Trying to portray me as.
I'm not sure.
So that's a really funny joke, Gabby.
Man, I really love this conversation. I feel like
I'm gonna be petty now because I'm really like.
I know you were.
I was really trying to intentionally be a good person. And I love how you were thinking like,
no, you can, if you want to not, that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to.
That's so funny how you perceived it. I thought you would.
No,
I love how you picked up on the fact that I texted you less because I text you more than you text me.
That's not true. It depends on the day.
It's true.
I okay.
I'd be analyzing. No.
I didn't analyze anything. I knew the vibes I was getting were right.
Which is correct.
I know it's correct. Okay.
But not in the way that.
I knew what you're trying to do.
Okay.
I knew what you're
trying to do. So you understand. It's not that I was like angry or nothing.
No, I didn't say that. You keep saying that. I never said that I thought you were angry. I did not think that at all.
This is like a legit conversation we're having right now.
It is because I never brought this up.
You didn't bring it up. You didn't bring it up
because I ignored it, and then you said something that triggered that memory. Because I was like, whatever. I never brought it up. But then I don't remember what we were talking about before. But I was like, oh, this reminded me. Whatever. But like, angry. I didn't say you were. You keep saying you're projecting a little bit right now.
I'm not projecting.
Yes, you are a little bit. Because you made
it seem to everybody else. No, I said short. If you say something like a short clip answer, it's because they're angry.
No, short and clipped does not mean angry. Short and clipped can mean different things.
Short and clipped means angry.
Well, let's preface. Okay.
I know for you, you can text like one word, and that's just Gabby. I can never read how you're feeling based off your text. I just have to like talk to you, and then I get a gauge.
That's false.
You can.
Oh, okay.
I'm better at it than Tim. Really I'll say that. Like I know you could reply one word and be like joyful, jumping off the ceilings, doing cartwheels, and some people could be like, oh, just kind of like angry today or in a mood. I know that's not the case. Or you walk in with the literal like RBF.
I always have that though,
and I know that you could be like ecstatic on the inside.
Usually, usually.
So I've learned that because originally in our friendship, I would be like,
okay, now it's your turn to drag me right now. Okay, go ahead.
I would think that like you hate everybody, but that's not the case.
It's not the case.
So I've learned that.
I enjoy most things.
Short clipped answers mean like, oh, I'm kind of like.
No,
time out.
No.
That's
okay, for me, so let's get on the same page.
I was really trying to be a good friend, a good person, and let you have your space because we, weren't. It was a little bit different.
I'm screaming. Okay.
And then on Friday, I was just like, I'll just tell her. Okay.
And then you said, and there's more, but I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. I was like, you're texting me like 4 times in a row.
It's not your problems no more. So I was really trying to.
Yeah, that's why I would like to hear about them now. I don't have to care about them as much. I care about them because you have to deal with them, but like it's not my problem. So like, yeah, sure, tell me. It's not going to bother me. Whereas before when I worked,
how the whole week you were like,
I wasn't going to. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to let her go through her little adjustment period, whatever. For me, okay, let's go back to short and clipped. Short and clipped does not
right now.
Doesn't mean annoyed.
Like, I feel a whole adult, and I'm trying to like figure out how to. So you had no adjustment either?
No, of course I did.
I love that right now.
There's gonna be like a conversation after we stop recording. I know it is. Okay, so but for sure, okay, short and clipped does not always mean angry. For me, let's get on the same page once again.
It means apathetic, angry. It means
it could mean a lot of different things. I did not think you were angry. I did not think you were annoyed with me. I did not think any of those things. That's not the case. Short and clipped means I'm trying to like live my life and like adjust to this new reality.
So you thought I was having like a whole moment?
No, I didn't think you were having a whole moment. I think it's just new. It's just a new like type of thing we're doing.
We're having a transition in our friendship, guys. I don't know if it's
also
end well.
In the workplace as well. Shut up. And also in the workplace as well. And so I was just like, you know what? When she wants to talk to me about whatever work stuff, she can talk to me.
Why are you trying to be an adult right now?
I don't think I'm being an adult. I was just trying to be like, okay, let me give her space to like do her thing. And then when she wants to talk to me, that's fine. Or what if I see her in person and she wants to tell me everything in person instead of over to, that's fine too. You called me on Christmas Eve. You rarely call me. That's fine.
I've called you more now.
You've called me at least like once or twice a week which is fine. Because I'm sitting here working. You can call me.
It'd just be easier
than texting.
Yeah. Which I'm not a caller person.
I'm not either.
Me neither. But I'm just kind of like, I know I can call her and be like, and then just be like, okay, hang up.
That's fine.
just be communicating a little better.
I don't know. Huh? Well, I don't know if communicating better. It's just we're communicating differently.
We have communication problems. Obviously, we do because you be sensing short and clipped. I'm going to hang on to that word into the grave, dude. That's the only thing I want written on my gravestone.
Millicent Vasquez, short clipped.
That's like so it coming off so abrasively to my soul.
I explained to you
like what any other. I don't got a whole lot of other friends, but if any other friend was like, "You come off as short and clipped,"
didn't say
I
you
will
come off
drag
as
you onto the asphalt and be like, "Never say that again." I'll let you say it again because you've tried to explain.
I did explain. I didn't try to explain.
When I go to bed tonight and lay my head down, I'm going to be like, "This biatch said short and clipped."
I did because it's true.
I'm like, she had a whole week where she was like, I see that period you put at the end of the. I see that.
It wasn't even that. It was just like usually your texting style changed drastically.
I am going to beat you up right now, dude. You are pissing me off. Oh my god, I'm about to have to pause this podcast and have a moment.
If you go back and look, this is really cracking me up. If you go back and this is really cracking me up.
Stop.
Sorry to get angry. It starts to crack me up. When you get really
so toxic.
I like this. You dragged me before, so it's my turn. You dragged me and I didn't say anything.
It was an intentional decision.
To drag me?
No, to be like, I'm not going to bother her
I know
now.
it was. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I knew that. Oh my god. Don't be the way you are.
I love how we waited to have this.
I wasn't trying to have a conversation. I thought it was just
if it wasn't for the podcast.
I kind of forgot about it.
The fact that whole week I kind of was a little bit of a detective and realized that you were having some sort of moment. You were having. It's like if I said, I'm going to let you have an adjustment, Gabby. And you come, I'll let you have your time. And when you're ready, you can come back to this. To this previous arrangement. This adjusted arrangement. I am about to like drag
you were blowing this so out of proportion. I didn't even like.
That's okay. I'm good. I'm good with what happened. I'm glad that we had this conversation.
I'm glad we did. I'm kind of not glad we did. I'm sad I brought it up, to be honest.
No. It's okay. I think it's good. It's healthy. I
don't like this. I feel like I'm in trouble.
You're not in trouble. I'm just really like short and clipped. It's okay.
No, I'm not saying you were. I'm saying your responses were.
Like,
okay, here's
actually,
something.
It's just you realizing the difference that pisses me off.
Well, it's not my fault you text differently. That's not my problem. Okay. I just want for the record to show I've tried to explain myself several times and she refuses to understand what I'm trying to say right now.
I understand. I believe you when you say you thought I wasn't angry.
I didn't think you were angry.
It's good. It's good. That's just okay with me.
I just noticed a change.
It just kind of gets to me that you were like, yeah, it's a little bit different.
And then
I was trying to be subtle about it. I hate when I'm trying to be subtle about something.
Oh, you thought you were being subtle. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
And that didn't come.
So you're mad at yourself, not me.
Yeah. Basically.
Okay, good.
But I'm going to definitely take it out on you. I'm definitely going to take it out on you.
You can take it. That's fine. You can take it.
So, yeah. That's my failures are...
You can gaslight me, dude. It's all right. I don't mind. I don't mind
My failures are your fault, basically, is how we're going to end this episode.
I would like that. I actually painted on my wall. So every day I wake up in the morning, all I see is in quotes, my failures are your fault, Millie. I'm like, dude, I love that. Okay, so every time I feel like I'm going to kill myself,
I think that was the ending.
You said we were going to end on a joke. I didn't think that was going to be a whole conversation.
I think this whole thing was a joke.
This whole episode was a joke. But I thought we were just going to, I didn't think it was going to be a whole conversation that lasts for like 10 minutes. I thought it was going to be like a, oh yeah, kind of thing. And you were like, you noticed that?
What just happened? That was the most transparent moment on a podcast I've ever had. Because I had to have a moment where I was like, let me not lay hands.
You could have. That would have made for an interesting episode.
Not lay hands, but it's okay. We talked through it. I think that was healthy. It was good.
I didn't feel the need to talk through it, but you obviously did. So
you're the one who brought it up.
Yeah, because I thought it was just gonna be like a little 3 second funny. But you grab onto things I never really expect you to, and it's like a dog with a bone. But
don't be saying other things now.
I'm done. I'm never gonna say anything ever again.
But
I'm gonna keep everything to myself.
No, don't do that.
I feel afraid for my life.
I was very transparent, even though apparently you pick up on everything.
You started yelling at me,
even though you be picking up on everything I be doing.
That's not.
I'm
true.
not as good as with you, but equal.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think I'm that much of. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty. Well, whatever. I don't know.
That was so funny.
That was wow. Your blood pressure went up a little bit there, but
it did, but it's okay. I've come back down. What I meant to say is that this is the ending chapter of me going through my what was it? We made a joke about the 5 stages of grief. I just came into acceptance.
Oh, okay.
Upset. We're at acceptance now. Now that we talked about that week where you thought I was texting short and clipped, I've accepted how you realized that I was texting short and clipped intentionally.
It lasted
even though I'm not angry.
4 days. It was. I'm gonna stop talking. It wasn't even like.
Oh, wow. You have a number. You can bring out a number.
The work week, because you texted me on a Friday, so it was like Monday through Thursday, and then Friday. Because I remember where I was at. I was at the store, which I go to on Fridays, so I know it was a Friday.
That's good. Acceptance. That's okay, so for what everybody is to do, whether it's between you and your close friends or yourself, just come to acceptance. Whatever you're grieving, accept it. Go through the stages. You just saw the stages in like real life action right here, right now.
Feel good
10
about
minutes
it.
ago.
I feel really good about it.
And I think that's healthy.
I don't know if that was healthy.
Maybe a therapist can reach out to us.
I feel like
actually, that was very unhealthy.
A therapist would probably listen to this and be like, well, that interaction was not good. But that's how most our interactions go. So if that's the case, then we have a really unhealthy.
Drag us.
I mean, that's the thing. Usually I say something that I think is just
what?
Just
I'm not sure I'm hearing things.
No. What I'm saying is like usually
why is it only you? Why is it me being the reactionary person?
No. I said
you're a reactionary person.
Listen to me right now. I said what I was going to say. So you keep interrupting. That's so interesting when you do that. It's like tickles me. Usually, hear me out. I say something that I think is going to be like whatever. You say something that you think is going to be whatever. See how you didn't let me finish before?
Okay. I like that. I like what you have there.
You like that little additive? Yeah. And one person will think it's just a little something, and it turns into a whole thing.
Both sides is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes, both sides.
Okay.
I already added that in.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Everybody heard that, right? It wasn't me.
But usually,
both sides.
Oh! I'm just kidding. It's both of us.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. Happy week, everybody. This is episode 89. It was supposed to be about New Year's resolutions, and it just became a therapy session.
Did you have a joke?
How both sides.
You said you were going to have a
That's
joke.
That's a joke. I think both sides is a joke.
I have a joke. What? I don't really have a joke. Never mind. I was going to make something up, but that's really
no,
lame.
But I think here's the thing. That was a good laugh. We obviously had to discuss something.
Oh my God, dude. I didn't think it was going to be a discussion.
Conclusion about how both sides
I apologize to everybody's eardrums who just heard us shrieking for the past 10 minutes.
I'm sorry for that.
And talking over each other. So.
But honestly, hey, we talked about a few changes. We talked about how I got really close to depression and we came back from it. And we talked about how you can have healthy conversations between friends.
I can't stop laughing. Oh, man. That's one thing that I do that when people start to yell at me, I start laughing. I can't help it.
That's not healthy. See, it was aggravating also.
I'm sorry. I don't know why. It depends on who it is. When people start yelling at me, I just, depending on who it is, it just cracks me up.
It's true though. It's true though. If I get angry at her about something, all she does is laugh in my face.
I try to talk through.
Because I'm seriously trying to be like, why don't we talk about this? And she's just cracking up, genuinely more than anything else. She starts to crack up.
Not all the time.
It's like when you know what really pisses me
off
about you?
Oh my God.
It's when I tell you something, you're like, huh? I don't remember us having the conversation. And I know you do because we had it
I do that on purpose, yeah. She doesn't but you should know by now that I'm just
I know, and I know that, but I'm just messing around. More because then you start to laugh because you find it so funny. You find yourself hilarious.
But, not all the time. But but that does, because it bothers you every single time.
It does.
We'll talk about something and then you'll be like, that conversation we just had 5 minutes ago, and I'll be like, what? I don't remember that. And clearly I do. I'm just messing around, but it makes you so mad that it just makes me laugh because I'm like, why are you getting mad? You know I remember what we talked. Yeah. Don't be so, it's all right.
I'm loose.
Get loose.
I'm sweating right now, even though your apartment's the coldest it's ever been.
It's 68 degrees in here, dude.
But no. Okay, so let's wrap this up.
You wrap it up.
Actually, you're supposed to do the outro.
You're right, I am.
We didn't really have an intro. I don't know where I'm going to put the music now, so good.
I don't know what's happening anymore. Just going to be like, okay, well.
This was the most botched, transparent episode, but it's good.
It was very.
Like I said, we actually have
welcome
we had
back
a legitimate
to
conversation.
What season is this?
7. Episode 89, whatever the title is. We'll figure it out. It's supposed to be a New Year's resolution.
Well, follow us on Instagram and Review us on Apple Podcasts and what else?
Your emails.
Oh, sometimes I send out emails. Sign up for those.
And we genuinely have tons of stuff planned.
Well, we have a season planned.
As we typically do.
Yeah.
So it's new, fresh content. Lots of true crime. So if you like that, stick around.
This is fresh right here.
Same stuff.
Anyway, so that's all I got. That was the best outro in the world. We have a really good outro and no intro. So, welcome
back, everybody.
And new listeners, I'm sorry.
This is it. I'm sorry. If you don't like it, it's
we
okay.
didn't even introduce ourselves.
I'm Millie.
I'm Gabby.
And welcome back
to another episode of Change by Degrees.
As we end this episode of Change by Degrees. And we will see you next week, every Thursday, bright and early, 5 a.m.
What? Oh, dude! What? Wow! For some reason I was like, we don't
released, but every Thursday morning you'll see a new episode from us.
Yes.
Because we've never failed. Actually, that's completely false. We definitely have failed sometimes. We've released something. It's just not been the right thing.
We've released something and it's not been the right thing, or you've released it. Okay, I'm done. We're done. Oh man! All right,
everybody have a happy week. If you don't see us next week, it's because
if you don't see me next week, it's because I'm dead and Millie might be on the lam.
We'll be in jail. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but we will. And do leave us 5 stars because we're so good.
Don't leave us anything less than that. If you do, Millie will come and kill you.
I am. I guess I've become a more abrasive person, but it's okay.
More what?
Abrasive person.
Oh,
but that's also your fault. So
what? Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay. Music outro. I hope I'm snapping on beat. You have to pick a song now.
Hey. Bye.
Turn this off because this is going really.
Say bye.
Goodbye, everybody. This is going awry really fast.
Just say goodbye.
I said goodbye.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Oh, I thought you stopped.
Bye.
Bye. Oh.